In the American system, everyone deserves a fair trial. This fundamental right is the cornerstone of our democracy and legal framework. This means the government can't hold back evidence that might help the defense. Such evidence could be the difference between a conviction and an acquittal. This principle is enshrined in the Brady Rule, named after the landmark case of Brady versus Maryland. The case set a precedent that requires the prosecution to disclose any exculpatory evidence to the defense. This rule is vital to our justice system. It ensures that the scales of justice are balanced and that the truth prevails in the courtroom. It ensures fairness and prevents wrongful convictions. Without it, innocent people could be imprisoned while the guilty walk free. The case of United States versus Cervantes Pacheco provides a stark example of a potential Brady violation. This case highlights the critical importance of the Brady Rule in protecting defendants' rights. In this case, Mr. Cervantes Pacheco was accused of drug trafficking. The charges were serious, and the stakes were high. He went to trial, unaware that the government might be withholding crucial evidence that could help his case. This lack of transparency can undermine the entire judicial process. This case raises important questions about fairness and the duty of the government to disclose information. It challenges the integrity of the legal system and the ethical responsibilities of those who serve it. The outcome of this case, and others like it, impacts not only the defendant, but also the integrity of our legal system. It serves as a reminder of the ongoing need for vigilance and accountability in the pursuit of justice. Let's delve deeper into the specifics of the case and its connection to the Brady Rule. Understanding these details can shed light on the broader implications for our justice system and the protection of individual rights. In 2010, Mr. Cervantes Pacheco found himself facing serious drug trafficking charges. The accusations were severe, and the stakes were incredibly high for him and his family. The government claimed he was involved in a conspiracy to distribute drugs. Despite the mounting evidence presented by the prosecution, Mr. Cervantes Pacheco maintained his innocence throughout the trial, insisting that he had no part in the alleged conspiracy. The trial proceeded, and after weeks of intense courtroom drama, Mr. Cervantes Pacheco was ultimately found guilty. The verdict was a devastating blow, not only to him, but also to his loved ones who believed in his innocence. However, after his conviction, Mr. Cervantes Pacheco discovered something troubling. While reviewing the case documents, he stumbled upon information that had been concealed during his trial. The government had not disclosed certain evidence during his trial. This evidence, which had been hidden away, could have been crucial in proving his innocence. This evidence, he argued, could have cast doubt on his guilt and potentially changed the outcome of his case. The realization that such critical information was withheld ignited a spark of hope in Mr. Cervantes Pacheco. This realization set the stage for a legal battle centered around the concept of a Brady violation. A Brady violation occurs when the prosecution fails to disclose evidence that could be favorable to the defense. Mr. Cervantes Pacheco appealed his conviction. He and his legal team worked tirelessly to gather all the necessary documents and evidence to support their claim. He argued that the government's failure to disclose this potentially exculpatory evidence violated his right to a fair trial. The appeal process was long and arduous, but Mr. Cervantes Pacheco remained hopeful. His appeal focused on the significance of the withheld evidence and whether it met the legal standard of being material to his case. The court had to consider if the outcome of the trial could have been different had the evidence been disclosed. The outcome of Mr. Cervantes Pacheco's appeal hinged on the legal precedent set by Brady versus Maryland. This case has been a pivotal point in the American judicial system, influencing countless decisions and shaping the way justice is administered. This landmark 1963 Supreme Court case established the Brady Rule, a cornerstone of due process in the American legal system. The Brady Rule has since become a fundamental aspect of ensuring fairness in criminal trials, emphasizing the importance of transparency and honesty in legal proceedings. In Brady v. Maryland, the Supreme Court held that the prosecution has a constitutional duty to disclose evidence favorable to the defendant. This decision underscored the necessity for the prosecution to act with integrity and uphold the principles of justice. This duty exists even if the defense doesn't specifically request the information. The ruling ensures that the defense has access to all pertinent information, which is essential for mounting a robust defense. This obligation stems from the prosecution's role in seeking justice, not merely winning a conviction. The prosecution must balance its duty to the public with its responsibility to ensure that the accused receives a fair trial. The Brady Rule recognizes that a fair trial requires a level playing field. It aims to prevent any imbalance that could arise from the prosecution withholding evidence that might exonerate the defendant or mitigate their guilt. It acknowledges that the government, with its vast resources, cannot be allowed to suppress evidence that might help the defense. This principle is a safeguard against potential abuses of power and ensures that the judicial process remains just and equitable. This principle is crucial for protecting the rights of the accused and ensuring that justice is served. By mandating the disclosure of favorable evidence, the Brady Rule helps to maintain the integrity of the legal system and fosters public trust in the judicial process.